More than 60% of enterprises are now running at least some stateful load on Kubernetes, reflecting growing confidence beyond the original stateless design center. My name is Paul Nashawaty, and I'm the principal analyst for the AppDev practice. I'm joined by Peter from Percona. Peter, how are you doing today?
I'm great, Paul. Thanks for having me here.
Great. Would you like to introduce yourself and introduce Percona to the audience?
Yes. So my name is Peter Farkas. I'm the CEO of Percona since October last year. Before that, I worked at Percona from 2011 to 2015. I was an early employee, and the reason I'm back is because I really believe in Percona's mission and what we are doing. If you haven't heard about Percona before, we were founded in 2006, and we are a global leader in providing enterprise-grade open source database software support and services. And what makes us special compared to other database services companies is that we truly have this unbiased approach. We started by specializing on MySQL, and then we added Postgres and MongoDB and recently Valkey to our portfolio, meaning that our users, our customers will truly get technology agnostic advice and services and products from us that are all open source. If you compare this to other companies who believe in one technology, that is an approach that increases trust.
Well, Peter, thanks for jumping on. I mean, it's certainly Percona, what you're doing there is adding a lot of buzz in the industry right now. For many years, we've seen running database on Kubernetes was dismissed as a risky mismatch from a stateful systems to a stateless infrastructure design. But what we're seeing today is the narrative is shifting to enterprises gaining confidence running production grade, really those data services on Kubernetes. So without a clear boundaries or trade-offs, right? So at the same time, AI is beginning to augment database operations, and the reality is far more measurable than hype, forcing organizations to really balance automation ambition with operational control. So Peter, let's just jump right in. Well, let's start with what I was talking about. Databases on Kubernetes, how it went from hell no quietly became to a pragmatic choice. What are your thoughts there on running the databases on Kubernetes?
Well, excellent question, because indeed there's been a shift from hell no to hell yes, or well, it depends, I believe. So 10 years ago, the mantra was stateless on Kubernetes, Kubernetes stateful elsewhere, meaning that in general, Kubernetes is a technology that was created to host stateless services like a web server, for example, and databases lived outside of it because the stateless approach, of course, does not apply to databases. Databases have only one thing, and that is a state. So this was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, a DBA would tell you that they would not be responsible for any data loss, for any performance issue if you would run your database in a container. But that was back then. So a lot has happened in the past 10 years. For example, we moved from basic scripts to very sophisticated Kubernetes operators. And these operators are not just a deployment tool. It really is encoded operational knowledge. So it handles all the chores, whether backup, scaling, or failover, with a level of consistency, especially you have multiple databases where a human admin would probably not be able to match at 3 a.m.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. No, I mean, it makes sense. I mean, there's definitely maturity in operators and storage layers and really day two operations that help reduce that risk. I mean, we see that it's been mature, but where do you still draw the line? Like, for example, what database workload should not run on Kubernetes despite the recent momentum? And what clarities or trade-offs, including latency or sensitivity and regulation constraints and operation complexity? What are those areas that you would say maybe it's not a good time to run a database on Kubernetes?
mhm. So at Percona, we fully believe that in technology, there isn't a silver bullet. And this is true for the database software we support. We would never tell you that MySQL would be the best database across the board for any workload. Similarly, Kubernetes is not a silver bullet either. Um, I would think that there are workloads where you legitimately might want to run your database natively. For example, when your application requires microseconds level latency, like high frequency trading or real-time bidding or the like. But I would say there might be some people who would still tell you that, hey, Kubernetes would be up for the task. So it really depends on the team. It really depends on the workload. It really depends on the use case. There is also this thing with regulatory hard isolation. So the soft multi-tenancy of Kubernetes might not be a yes in the books of the auditors. So if the compliance framework requires physical hardware isolation, then you will need to stick to bare metal. But in any case, as we can see, there are exceptions, but I believe that most database workloads would benefit from the consistency of Kubernetes, even if there is a small performance tax to pay.
No, Peter, that makes a lot of sense. I think that tax to pay is outweighs the operational efficiencies you get with Kubernetes. But let's talk about AI. I have to because it's part of the conversation. There's a lot of hype around AI driven database management. So, what are the real near term use cases versus what's being overstated? There's practical automation, monitoring, tuning assistance, and from unrealistic healing narratives that are out there. What are your thoughts around this? Because I mean, some of it's real, some of it's not.
Exactly. Some of it is very real, and some of it is not. I would say that a good analogy would be self-driving cars. So the reality is that similarly to self-driving cars or autonomous cars, uh, we are seeing massive wins in observability and diagnostics. So you don't have to pay attention on all of the things because AI is incredible at looking at thousands and thousands of metrics and saying, hey, this specific query pattern causes the spike. Similarly, with an autonomous car, you can kind of pay less attention than if you would be driving yourself, but you would still have to pay attention yourself. And car manufacturers would want you to stay close to the steering wheel and observe what the car is doing. But it's an easier task. The hype is similar to all other areas where AI is expected to make a difference. Hey, all DBAs, all system administrators, all IT people will be fired because we are going to have self-healing databases that is going to make architectural changes without human oversight. I don't think that we are going to do that. If you imagine just releasing OpenClaw on your most valuable asset, that is your data, and I would not be able to sleep very well thinking that anything is possible for the AI to change. You don't really want a black box model deciding to drop an index or repartition a table based on a probabilistic guess. At Percona, our stance is that we would like to focus on augmented intelligence, where we provide insights to the human that can make the final call.
Yeah, definitely still needs a human in the loop. It's as much as we like to believe that full automation in AI is taking over, it's not. We're not quite there yet. We're not ready for that.
Totally
But
agree,
Peter,
Paul.
yeah, absolutely. So Peter, Percona celebrates 20 years, right? And when we look at, you've been around for a while, you look at the shift back towards services with Percona packages reflecting broader changes in how enterprises want to consume their databases. How is this connected to the skill gap issues, hybrid environments, and operational burden that you see? Because how does this fix that?
So the point of Percona packages and the reason we started offering Percona packages, or how we call them Percona bundles, is that we saw a pattern where most enterprises don't just want a specific service or an open-ended engagement, they want an outcome. With hybrid cloud and multi-database environments that spans across Postgres or MySQL or MongoDB, the operational burden has become unsustainable for internal teams. And Percona bundles, they aren't just about support. They aren't just about a bundle of consulting hours. We promise an outcome to the customer, to our users. For example, getting them ready to run AI workloads on their existing Postgres infrastructure using PG Vector or some other solution. And this is just one example. And this is going to be a tangible outcome for the customer, rather than an open-ended engagement or a long infrastructure project.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question, like looking ahead, right? If we start think about how Kubernetes adoption and restrained AI kind of expectations shape Percona's product and platform strategy over the next 3 to 5 years, what does it look like from a roadmap discussion, platform integration, automation boundaries, and customer value? What does it all mean kind of when you tie it all together?
So I think that our 3 to 5 year strategy, and let's go back to Kubernetes. So we would like to focus on platform integration. Over the next 3 to 5 years, we aren't just building databases. We are helping our customers to build a data platform that lives natively on Kubernetes. We usually say that open source either leads innovation or sometimes plays catch up with the proprietary solutions out there on the market. There is a big gap still for open source to fill when it comes to the ease of use or the convenience of spinning up a database like how you would do it on AWS or a proprietary database provider's platform. So our aim is for open source to be as easy to use, as convenient to use as a proprietary solution that is definitely able to provide that today. Without Kubernetes, without these building blocks that are required to have a standardized way, a repeatable way of doing the same thing, this convenience will never materialize. This is why we are focusing on Kubernetes. This is why we would like to make sure that we provide the best operators out there for our users and for our customers that achieves this goal. And I would emphasize that we provide these operators to the community as well, to the open source community as well, free of charge, meaning that we would like to help open source. We would like to help the cause and make sure that we progress, not just in a business sense, but also as a community.
Well, Peter, those are ambitious goals. I mean, I think that there's a lot there to kind of go after. I think you're going to do great at it. You've already proven that you can, as a company, grow and address those market needs. So, closing points. Any closing thoughts to the audience? Where would you like the audience to learn more about what we're talking about today?
I would say that there are lots of different trends, and if we look back in the last 20 years, there were a lot of trends and a lot of changes. But I believe, and my message to every CTO and developer has been in the past 15, 20 years is to make sure that you concentrate on freedom, to make sure that your infrastructure choices will not limit your future. Because whether you're moving to Kubernetes or exploring AI or both, the goal should always be freedom. I believe that everyone should own their data, everyone should own their destiny, and everyone should have the freedom to innovate without being locked into a specific cloud provider's silver handcuffs. Open source and what we believe in at Percona is not just a license. It's not just something that's free. It's a strategy for long-term survival.
Well, Peter, thank you for being on today. Your insights are really, really valuable to the community here. And a big thank you to all of you who've tuned in. We do appreciate you being part of our AppDevANGLE community. But for now, that wraps up this episode. But we'll be back next Wednesday with another conversation diving into the tools, trends, and talents shaping the future of application development. So whether you're deploying at the edge, building an AI, or modernizing your cloud stack, we've got you covered. Be sure to follow us on social if you have any thoughts, questions, or just want to connect. Until next time, stay curious and stay building.